I'm just putting the M3x10 Allen screws in each of the opposite side of the bearing blocks from what we did on the other side, and also two on the servo tray here. Our next step will be tightening the whole frame together with the I think they're M3x25 Allen bolts. There's approximately 8 or so of those. There's actually, look here, there's actually 12 of them, so we'll be doing that at the next step. So finish this off and we'll continue tightening the frame together, and looking pretty good so far. So we'll be right back. This part of the elevator arm, I think it comes separate in the kit. Of course, mine's a rebuild, so it was already put together. But I believe you have to insert these pins into connect the two together. Just make sure that you're able to put it in the frame properly. You can slide this in even after you've put the elevator arm part, the lower part in. And we've put the M3x10 Allen screws in all the bearing blocks and into our servo tray on this side. Sometimes you have to squeeze these together to get them to go in. There's set holes for them in the servo trays. Some guys, the instructions say they prefer you put the main shaft in here to line up all your bearing blocks before you tighten this down, just to have a smooth running system. But our next steps will be to get the M3x25 bolts in. Now they go on one side, the bolt goes through, and then the nut, you can see they're tapered for the nuts where they go. And there's 2, 4, 6, 8 of them that go into the frame now. And you can tell where they're all at. Do not put them into the tail section until you insert the tail boom. Otherwise you'd have to undo it anyway. You can put in the little M3x4 set screws back here, just ever so in until you get the tail boom in place. And that's another support for the tail boom. So we've got our grommets for the fuel tank. We'll assemble that next. And then this part's already done for you. These have one-way, some guys call them one-way bearings. They're actually called one-way clutches. They only will go one way. And that will set inside here once we get to that step. So get that part ready to go. And I'll go ahead and finish up putting the bolts into the frame. You can see where they all go because there's little mounts that go across the frame, so that's where all your M3x25 bolts go. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll be coming back. Okay, our next parts are just going back to step 3. These things are pre-assembled for us. This is your main gear, and this is your auto rotation gear on top. They're pre-assembled. Take note of how it's assembled. It's a one-way clutch. Some guys call it a one-way bearing. It's actually a clutch. And that's pre-assembled for us. But our next step, we've got to assemble the fuel tank to go into our frame here. So this is the way it comes packaged. This is a new one. Mine didn't survive the auto rotation, so rebuild, and it crunched the tank in bits, so we're going to rebuild it here. Well, a lot of parts here. Kind of follow the diagram. It shows you how to put it together. But you've got a clunk and a fuel line, and you've got to stick that fuel line onto the clunk. It's pretty tricky getting that on there. It's a tight, very tight fit. But you just kind of push it and it'll go right onto the clunk. And you've got the fuel line on there. And the other part is going to go onto this part here, you've got a little covering here, and it's going to go right onto this end for the other end of the clunk. So, and again, it's going to be tough because it's much bigger in, so it doesn't come off. I've knocked a couple of these off before, but if you keep pushing, you'll work it onto the valve. Slowly but surely you'll get it going on. It's really tight. And there, you got that on there like so. The clunk on the other end. And the tank's going to go with this on the top section. Don't do it that way, otherwise your fuel will run out. So I'm going to put it in just like that. But first let's mount this in. So your clunk's going to go inside, and you're going to have this washer like so. And this is going to squeeze in. Maybe it's the other way around. The washer's flat against there. See that there? Now squeeze into the tank, and then you've got this, once that's in, then you've got this washer to squeeze around the outside. Now it's taken me quite a time to get that worked in, but that's the way it's got to go inside the tank. So I'm going to do that and insert it, and we'll be back. Okay, we've got the fuel tank clunker in there, and let me just let you know that this isn't very easy unless there's got to be a trick. What I do is, to get this lined up, I slide a T-Rex 450 fly bar in here, slide it all the way inside with the clunker, put the little grommet in, and then pull that feed nipple back out, and then start trying to feed the little flat washer and nut on there. I mean, that's one of the ways that I do it. There's got to be other methods, I'm sure, but you got to secure that good. And at this point, it slides in here pretty easy. The frame's not that secured down there until